Welcome back to Take 5. I'm Larry King. Have you ever thought about studying law? All that reading and how boring law might be? I know I have. But seriously, there is a new way to learn law. Using animation and simulations. Here to talk about this is Professor Stephen Colbran from CQ University. Welcome, Professor.
Good to be here, Larry.
Tell us, Professor, how can you make law interesting to learn?
Larry, I thought I would show you some examples. I think the place to start is to figure out what not to do. Let's think about how can we make law extremely boring to learn. First, have lengthy lectures full of content presented in a monotone, just like this. Make sure students have endless cases and textbooks to read, endless PowerPoint slides full of text and bullet points. Make sure every assessment in every subject is a written assignment and supervised exam.
Doesn't sound like much fun. How do students react to this?
Not well, I am afraid, Larry. I thought, why not try something different? Take the case of Stuart, a solicitor being pursued by an overly interested Mrs. Robinson. Watch this animation in an ethics subject and think what you would do if you were in Stuart's position.
Don't be shy, Stuart. Sit down and relax. You know I like you. I would really like to get to know you better. How would I do that, Stuart?
I would run a mile.
Next, take the case of Mrs. Monk. While overly protective of her cats, she still wants to leave something in her will for her solicitor Stuart. Students need to help Stuart remember his ethics and professional duties.
Mrs. Monk, I'm glad to have you visit us again. How are you? Would you like a cup of tea?
I'm well, dear. No tea for me. It gives me gas. Let us get down to business. I want to make a will. Do you make wills here?
Yes, we do.
Good. I have cats. Lots of cats. I want to look after my cats.
Professor, how do you make a simple animation?
Larry, there are 4 steps. Ideas, script and characters, storyboard, animation, and finally distribution and review. They all work together as a type of action research project.
Can you explain what is involved in each step?
The aim is to make the teaching of law more visual. We should be using images and diagrams, animation and simulations as well as text. To demonstrate what I had in mind, I chose ethics as a focus as it has a wide variety of interesting stories. When searching for ideas, look for conflict, light and the dark side. Think of Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader as inspiration. Stories are a natural way for people to learn and remember. It is generally useful to adopt a 3-act structure. Act 1, beginning, setting the scene, 25% of the script. Act 2, confrontation, 50%. Act 3, resolution, 25% of the script.
Sounds like a Hollywood film.
It's the same design. Now looking at each of the elements, the script is where the ideas are expressed in a standard format. Each page of the script is 1 minute of screen time. The script expresses elements such as time and place where the scene takes place. Action is what is happening expressed in the present tense. Stage directions, in other words, what particular characters are doing or experiencing. Names of the characters and dialogue are also included. I constructed the raw characters from templates of South Park-style characters available on the internet. To get the students involved, you can set an assignment whereby the students actually write the script. It is all about engagement.
Tell us more about the characters you use.
Without characters there is no story. It is better to have archetypes, universal characters, rather than stereotypes. The universal characters I have created had to have a history, personality, moods and traits. That's what makes them interesting.
How do you turn the written script into something visual?
Larry, I use storyboards. Storyboards translate the script into images. Once you have a clear plan, then you start the animation process. The animation was completed using Anime Studio Pro 9.5. The animations need to run on a variety of computers and mobile devices, phones and tablets.
Whoa, way too technical for me. What did students think about the animations?
They were impressed. Have a look at this chart. On a 5-point scale with 3 as neutral and 5 as strongly agree, students found the animation made the lesson more interesting to learn, helped them visualize the problem, remember the issues and generally assisted their learning. Animations do not have to be passive, they can be interactive. Have a look at Harry and the Blast Furnace. Branching structures can enable quite complex simulations. Better still, get students to write the script. Let them direct their own learning. You are only limited by your imagination.
Well, Professor, I have learned a lot about animations and how you teach law.
My pleasure, Larry.